speaking of Josh Allen, superb win at New England. Coming from 21 down, 21 and 0
Mm.
to win 35-31. Divisional game. Now the pressure is slightly on for the Patriots. I don't know what the tiebreakers look like, but if they were to lose to the Ravens this upcoming game, for instance, and the Bills win, they're level on record.
Mm.
So again, I don't know what tiebreakers look like, but mate, it seems like the Patriots got a bit ahead of themselves.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know what? I also feel like their schedule wasn't the most difficult. When we figured out they were actually a good team, their
They
schedule
were,
started to look a lot easier than it was before. We
funny
were
enough,
thinking
it was
about team.
easier than the Bills.
Yeah, that's the thing. When we figured out they're actually a good team. So I feel like their schedule now towards the back end of the season is now picked up. Almost like a lot of the schedules you see and you're like, okay, cool. You now have to play tough games, even if it's only like
Mhm.
2 or 3 tough games, but you're now having to play games against teams that are either fighting for a playoff spot or in contention to get a playoff spot. And
Mhm.
I feel like that's what they didn't factor in themselves. But the Bills, you got to give it to Josh Allen, man. You got to give it to Josh Allen because he was sensational. Comeback king this year anyway, what he's been doing in these big games. The defense actually stood strong because they did not allow the Patriots to score another point after that first half. So,
Mm.
well, not after the first half. They did score. They scored in the
Yeah,
first or the fourth quarter on the
it
long
was
touch.
Henderson, his second 50-yard run
Yes,
touchdown.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
But they did hold the Patriots in check, basically. They weren't allowing them to just go off like they did in the first half. So
Mhm.
you got to give credit to the defense. You got to give credit to James Cook. But Josh Allen was Josh Allen. He was Superman. I'm not sitting there saying he was MVP Josh Allen or he's going to be the MVP. No. Because I know a lot of people are pushing that narrative today. But
Yeah.
he was sensational when he put his team on his back and he did what he needed to do because they needed this win. Because if they lost this game, then that's the division wrapped up and they're now
Yeah.
going on the road to somewhere. And that
Yeah.
somewhere going to be somewhere nice right now. Do you get
It's
what
still
I'm
likely going on the road, but definitely agree.
Yeah. So I feel like for the Patriots, they need to obviously reset, look at what they want to do and for the next couple of games and try and have good momentum going into the playoffs. And for the Bills, it was a good win to set themselves up going into these last 3 games for them. And we'll see what they can do, obviously. But they tend to lose willy-nilly nonsense games. So they'll probably end up losing one of these ones against the Brown, some
Yeah,
silly.
they have got the Browns next. Funny enough.
Yeah.
So the Bills got the Browns away, Eagles at home, and then Jets at home. And then the Patriots have the Ravens away, Jets away, and then Dolphins at home.
See, so the Patriots, it should be, you say 2-1 to be nice.
Yeah.
Should be a 3-0. And the Bills 2-1 to be nice.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a 3-0 just judging off what the Eagles are
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Do you get what I
Facts.
mean?
Facts. Because like you said, like again, Josh Allen, he's not MVP. I hope the narrative doesn't go away. But that was an MVP performance. Do you know what I
Mm.
mean? And he's he's probably the only quarterback that's had, I'd say, 2 or more of these kind of performances. Let's just say the Superman performances.
Yeah.
Like Stafford's consistency has made him clear cut for me. And then what Drake May had done was second. But like you'd have when the Cowboys were doing all right, you'd have Dak in the mix. Now, obviously, they lost last night as well. Jordan Love would have been in the mix if they'd won for
But
like
they
that third spot. And now Josh Allen just has it clear where he might even be battling Drake May for second place right now. Do you know what I
Mm.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
and Josh Allen like that, and like you said with James Cook complimenting, because once Cook gets again over 100 yards, they generally win.
Mm-hmm.
Defense mates plays. If they showed last week against the Bengals, they had to match them and then capitalize, which they did on the turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
Patriots game, not the one turnover, but the defense stepped up in the second half.
Yep.
We saw it in the Bucks game where Josh Allen had 6 total touchdowns. Like they've had these moments, and if he can, he's easily going to be the most feared person in the playoffs, without a
Oh yeah.
doubt. With no Mahomes there, if they can just have 2 of these games, uh, like they're for me, depending on how the season plays out, they'll be the favorites. If they can win the division somehow, they'll be the favorites for me in the AFC.
Yeah, if they win a division. But I
Yeah.
almost feel like if they don't, and then they have to end up going on the road and having to go back to New England or going into Denver.
Denver's the one that I fear. I said this week ago, a couple weeks ago, when we were talking about Denver and New England, I said Denver, like, and people didn't really agree, but I said Denver's the one that I fear the most out of the two teams. Like,
oh yeah, 100%. But I fear if they have to go into Houston. Do you get what I mean? If that's, I fear is a lot more for if they have to go into somewhere. If they're in Buffalo, then I feel like they should win the games because the weather just is madness, and they're used to it.
They just know their stadium, their condition.
Yeah.
Like, the only quarterbacks I see winning there is Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes.
Exactly.
Literally that. The flip side with the Patriots, yeah, this was a good opportunity for Drake May to, as good as he's been, show how clutch he can be. And this is another reason why I have the Broncos, because as much as slack Bo Nix gets, Bo Nix has showed this year, one, their schedule has now benefited them, that the Broncos were beating the top teams early, and then these fourth quarter comebacks.
Yep.
So when they were in that position, we're going to get to the Packers game soon. Like, Bo Nix was fantastic, and he's had these moments where he can actually somewhat go toe to toe, or when it's band for band. Do you know what I mean? Like, the Pats needed Drake May to those final two drives, for instance. It's like, yo, you need to match Allen there.
Very true. Very true.
So, but hell of a win by the Bills. That's one of the most impressive performances and wins that I've seen this season in general. So, and Buffalo, you don't know I'm a hater, but I don't really give you lot credit, but fair play.